For the Craft with 5 collaboration today, I chose to use my 5 prompts on several sets of scrapbook pages. Hey, it's Beth. Welcome. Today is the Craft with 5 collaboration. It is a small collaboration that I host that focuses on using up things from your stash, but they're not necessarily consumables like our Smash Our Stash collaboration would be. Each month there is a set of prompts that we are to use, and we can do any type of crafty project. We just have to use all 5 of those items on the same project. This month we were to use leaves of some kind, the colors yellow and brown, punches, and then words. So we had to incorporate those 5 items into our projects. There is a playlist linked in the description box below, so you can check out the other collaborators and see how they used those prompts and what type of project they chose to make. So this month I am trying to work through this pumpkin spice pad. It's an older one from Recollections at Michael's, and it's kind of an interesting color combination for fall. Like, I love it. It was a challenge for me to make it work for the prompts this month a little bit, mainly because of the incorporation of the color yellow, because there really is no yellow in that pad. But I don't have a ton of full sheets left. Oh, turn it this way. I had a bunch of scraps, and decided that I wanted to use up the kind of 12 by 12 image pages that were really made like for scrapbooking in mind. I thought I would go ahead and use those up, and then that way the rest of the pad can be a little bit easier to work through. So anyway, I pulled out some fall photo events from 2019. That is the year I am working on scrapbooking. So this one is Playing in the Leaves. And so this particular page pattern had these cute little foxes down here at the bottom, and it had like leaves underneath them and kind of a cascade of leaves coming from the top left corner. So I took my photos, I used some scraps to kind of give these top photos a little shelf to sit on, and then connected them, by overlapping this one on those strips. So for my words, I have words in here a couple times, like in this cut apart strip here, the leaves are falling, autumn is calling, and then my title, Fall Days, is obviously words. Leaves, they are incorporated throughout. The color brown I have in the leaves, the acorns, and in my title piece here. And punches are these little leaves. They've been in my stash for quite a while. These bigger leaves are actually die cuts, but the little ones were from a punch. And then the yellow, it was kind of a stretch here, but it's more of a goldish yellow, kind of like a goldenrod type yellow. I just figured that would kind of tie in with the rest of the layout and not stand out quite so bad. So I think that incorporated all of the prompts on this first layout. Now I do scrap for myself and my 2 daughters, so there are usually 3 layouts of each event. So for Playing in the Leaves, the next 2 are actually 2-page layouts. And I took one of the kind of 12 by 12 image layouts and then just partnered it with some cardstock from my stash. And then the pattern here had the squirrel on the branches with the acorns and the leaves, and there was a border strip that had the squirrel on a branch with acorn and leaves, but it also had the owl. But still, I felt like that would kind of help tie the 2 pages in together. Actually, it was these 2 pages. And then just the leaves that were in the pattern here on the page, those are part of my title cut apart piece, and then I added it in another little strip of that in up here. So I'm hoping that kind of all ties together, like the colors. And so as far as my prompts, I have words in my title in this border strip that this group of photos is sitting on. I use that Leaves are falling, autumn is calling piece again. These are just some random words that I had kind of like already cut down, left in the scraps that I had, and so I just kind of put those there. Leaves are everywhere. Brown is in my word strip here. It's in the branches and in some of the other patterns. Yellow, this one is a little bit bright. I thought I could hide it and it wouldn't be quite as noticeable if I tucked it behind this orange one, like just had it kind of barely peeking out, but it was still very bright and did not go with the rest of this layout at all. So then I tried to come in after the fact and ink it a little bit to try and tone it down. And what I should have done is just stuck with my little goldenrod color yellow leaf punches. But I thought I would try to like put some true yellow in there. Didn't quite work out, but I do have some more of those little yellow leaves kind of scattered around as well. And then for this last 2-page layout, I used the same kind of philosophy here with the pattern on this page, the border strips and all the elements that kind of tie together. And this time I did leave a yellow leaf in here. I didn't think it looked too bad because it was pretty skinny. So I did leave that one. But then I've got the little goldenrod leaf punches throughout as well. We've got brown leaves, again, brown in the patterns, words throughout, and then, you know, the leaf punches. So that was everything that I needed to include on those. And then this next one, I do still need to do journaling on all of these, but the next event was Thanksgiving from 2019. I only had one photo, and it was the photo of my girls, and it actually incorporated yellow. So the little turkey that Ellie's holding, it has yellow on him, and there's yellow in the tablecloth there. So I didn't really try to work in any other true yellow. I just stuck with my little goldenrod yellow punches of the leaves. So as far as elements here, like, and I thought this was just it was a really cute pattern, but it was kind of hard to use. Luckily, you know, I only had one photo, but I kind of wanted to make it a bigger, more substantial than just putting that photo on with some scraps. So I kind of used some scraps to make it look like a bigger piece up here, and then anchored it on the little border strip here. But it was just a cute little scene of the animals having a Thanksgiving dinner, so I thought that would be perfect for Thanksgiving. So for my elements, words, this one I just only have words on my title piece, so the we gather together. Yellow, we talked about that. Leaves are all over, and then brown is kind of all over. This is a little turkey I created using punches. So I used 2 sizes of circle punches to create his body, and then just used scallop circles to create his feathers. So between that turkey and the little leaves that covered punches, this also incorporates my brown. I think that was everything. I have another one pretty much like that, just some slightly different elements, a different style of turkey that I had played with. And then on this last page, I only had 2 of that particular scene. So on this one, I just took some cardstock and brought in some scrap pieces. There was a pattern that kind of worked with that had that scene as well. So I brought that in. So words are a couple different places on this one. I've got it in my family, friends, and food title piece here. But then also there's this strip scrap here that actually has fall words on it. And then leaves I've got a few down here that are like die cuts, and then my punches, and then that's, you know, kind of also the yellow, and then the yellow in the photo. Brown, I've got brown in my turkey, there's brown in the patterns, and in the leaves. Yellow, brown, leaves, punches, words. Oh, punches, yeah, I've got the punches in the turkey again, and then in those little leaves. So, oh, and then my journal spot there is actually a punch. So incorporated everything. The biggest challenge was really just bringing in the yellow in this particular fall color scheme. There was some more fall events that I wanted to scrapbook, but just the yellow was, feel like I was stretching it on these, and I didn't want to push it on some of those other ones because they were more like deeper fall where the yellow wouldn't quite have worked as well. And then since it didn't work with the patterns, so thought this would be enough for now, and then I will save some of those other falls for next month's Craft with 5, which incorporates pumpkins and then some other different themes. So that is what I have today, my scrapbook layouts. Again, please check the playlist to see what everyone else chose to make using those 5 items. And if you would like to play along for the rest of the year, I mean, we are in September, but if you'd like to play along the rest of the year, there should be a link in the description also for my blog post that has the schedule of all the prompts for each month. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for your time today, and hope you all have a very crafty day.